recording. Thank you for using Global Tellink.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
Hey Barry.
This is Barry.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
This is Roy. I'm here with Steve and a new patriot named Rick. Tina's not here with us tonight, although you're calling her phone. She had, we have her phone, but she had to run and do something important. So it's good to hear your voice. How are you?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
We're doing fine here. You know, we're struggling without Tina, to be honest with you. She's our right hand woman, but it's going good. Yeah, we thank God. So.
All right, good.
Well. Oh no, go ahead.
Well, as you guys know, I was sentenced to 5 years. Probably, I'm sure you heard the news.
We did hear that news
just recently.
All right, so they were trying their very hardest to give me 9 years. So I guess it's a lot better than 9. I can say that. I am on average, I have been charged on average based upon what other people are accused of and the allegations and their charges. I'm on average about 1.5 higher than those people. The reason that is because of false claims from the government, the DOJ, the prosecutor's office. And I would encourage America and everyone to take what I'm saying as a grain of salt. And everything I'm about to tell you could be 100% proved with documentation, testimony, and the government's own, admittance.
Yeah.
And for a year now, America has heard that I threatened an FBI agent that was investigating my case. It basically has come out what I've been saying for a year now to the prosecution through my attorney. That never happened, and the FBI agent is lying. On the 11th hour, right before my sentencing, after filing it in my memorandum, after telling my judge for a year that I threatened an FBI agent, after multiple news articles being reported that I threatened an FBI agent, the government finally admitted on the 11th hour, right before my sentencing, that they have evidence, they've had evidence for over a year, that shows I didn't do that shows the FBI agent didn't disclose who they were, and I didn't know it was an FBI agent, and they dropped the enhancement right before my sentencing. However, for a year now, I've been preparing to defend myself against that. The judge has heard over and over again that I threatened an FBI agent, and there's been multiple news articles that I threatened an FBI agent. And even after my sentencing, after the DOJ dropped the enhancement against me and admitted that they've been sitting on evidence that shows otherwise for a year, the damage has been done. And even still, news articles are being reported that I threatened an FBI agent. So now that I'm sentenced, I can tell you guys in great detail, and again, everything I'm telling you can be proven with either court transcripts or just looking at the narrative. When does the DOJ drop enhancements that they can prove in court against somebody? They don't. They don't do that. So here's what happened. I retained a lawyer in South Florida 1 month after January 6th. I knew that I was going to have to answer for some things. I knew I was going to have to go to court, so I retained a lawyer. Over a year later, I was at my job. I'm an aircraft mechanic, and I'm working on something. And the parts manager for the company that I work for came up to me and said, "Hey, Barry, my fiance comes to my job and says, babe, they're finally here. The FBI knocked at the door. They had a picture of you. I wouldn't answer any of their questions. They gave me a business card. I went and dropped the card off to your attorney, and now I'm here in person to tell you the FBI's here."
Yeah.
So she did a good job.
She did.
And the next morning, my lawyer called me and said, "Hey, I talked to the agent. They are about a month and a half from needing to sit down and talk to you. They know you have representation. They're not allowed to call you anymore. They'll call me, and we'll turn you in or whatever we got to do." So about a week after that, I'm working on that airplane part, and the parts manager comes up to me and says, "Hey, Barry, Ryan Newgarrett is on line 1. They say they're a close family friend of yours. They need to talk to you." So I'm like, I don't know anybody by that name. So I go to line 1. No one's on line 1. It immediately hits me. I'm being doxxed. I go to flag waving events. I do security for people that can't defend themselves against radical left-wing protesters. I do this frequently.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, it's my turn. I'm getting doxxed. That's all there is to it. I have a really good job. I don't want to lose it. So I go on truthfinder.com after getting the number that's called off the caller ID from the company phone. I go on Truthfinder and it comes up, Ryan Newgarrett. Here's his address. Here's his fucking vehicle VIN number. I'm like, okay, this is who this is. So I wanted to send a message. I wanted to say, hey, if you want to dox me, I'm going to dox you back. So I call the number. I say, hey, is this your address? Is this your vehicle VIN number? Don't mess with me. I hung up. Well, it was the FBI agent.
No shit.
Yeah, so he told my job that he was a close family friend. And so about 2 days later, my lawyer calls me, hey, come to my office right now. I come to his office, and he says, hey, dude, the FBI agent's saying you called and you threatened him. I'm like, I don't know. I don't even know the FBI agent's damn number.
Yeah, right.
He goes, Ryan Garrett. I'm like, oh, shit.
Oh, and that's how you figured it out. Your attorney told you.
Yeah, my attorney told me. So I didn't know what to do. My attorney reached out to him and said, hey, man, you identified yourself as a close family friend, and you also are not supposed to be calling my client. You know he's retained a lawyer.
Yeah,
you call me. So a couple days after that, I'm walking to my car. Here's a flashbang. Here's about 15 FBI agents, cars trapping me in and pulling guns on me and telling me to stick my hands in the air, screaming at me that they're going to shoot me. So, at this point, I should have not said anything and let everyone learn a lesson from this. Let everybody learn a lesson from what I'm about to tell you. Immediately after having all these guns pointed at me and seeing Ryan Nugare is his name, he purposely mispronounced his last name so he would know if I mispronounced it. So I asked him, are you Agent Nugare? And I said, is this about the phone call? I made a huge mistake. I should have never said a word, because that was enough for him to say that it was me that called, which I wouldn't have denied. But he said that was evidence, and the government used that as evidence against me that I threatened an FBI agent. I should have kept my mouth shut and exercised my Fifth Amendment right. Because like they say, anything you say can and will be used against you. I didn't know that was an FBI agent. They knew I didn't know it was an FBI agent. He never identified himself. And the law states, in order to commit obstruction of justice, you have to knowingly threaten a law enforcement agent. He did not identify himself as that. He was not supposed to call me. So the reason the government finally, in the 11th hour after all the damage has been done, dropped the enhancement against me is because when they accessed my phone after arresting me and indicting me, they found text message communications in my Telegram chat with me literally telling people, oh, God, I think Antifa's finally on to me. I think I'm getting doxxed. This should get interesting. And so they knew the whole time that I did not violate the law. They knew the whole time the FBI agent lied and violated the law. But again, the damage is done. The judge for a whole year heard that I threatened an FBI agent, and so did America. But that did not happen.
That is really pitiful, and thank you for sharing that story in detail. And the lesson that we all need to take is, yes, be very careful what you share, because it can and will be twisted and turned against you. Barry, do you think they set you up for that? That whole
100%.
Yeah.
There's no way you can tell me that an FBI agent doesn't understand the culture that culturalized during the 4 years of Trump's presidency. Left-wing activists would call everybody and their damn mother a bigot and a racist and a fascist and a Nazi, and then they would get their personal information, and these spineless, cowardly pussies will put your information out there so other people will do their dirty work for them.
That's what you thought happened.
This is an art form called doxing.
Right.
So they knew what was going on. They knew what they were doing, and they 100% set me up. Because, hey, why would you call my job? Why would you pretend to be a close family friend? And then, knowing that I have an attorney, you could have just asked my attorney if I worked there. You could have asked my attorney anything.
And they weren't even, wow, that's pitiful.
Yeah, so, that brings into question all of their other tactics that they utilized to entrap people and to give J6ers even more charges than they originally were going to. And, it's pretty indicative of how they've done this entire investigation. I got on average a little close to 1.5 more years, even though the judge did come under my guidelines, than on average than people that are charged with the same thing I did. And it's because the prosecution created and lied about aggravating factors. One of them also is that when it was a hurricane several years ago coming to South Florida, whenever there's a hurricane, I stay with my mother. I protect her.
Yeah, sure.
So one day I was cleaning my pistol, my legally owned firearm, in my mother's home. I had it all disassembled in multiple different parts, oiling and cleaning it. The landlord, unannounced, uninvited, showed up to check on the hurricane shutters, which isn't a big deal. My pistol was out all over the table in different parts, not loaded, anything. He came in, he checked the shutters, he left. there was no problem, there was no drama between him and I, and there never was.
Right.
So after I got arrested, the FBI went around and interviewed previous addresses that I had been at or lived at or my family lived at. This landlord could hardly speak a lick of English. There's no way for him to articulate this in any detail. But they tell my judge, and the FBI tells the prosecutor that I pulled a gun on my mother's landlord.
Whoa.
And they said this under oath multiple times at my sentencing. And the judge, even though the judge asked for proof and there was none, they still got to tell the judge that I pulled a gun on my landlord. My mother was there. She was in the crowd. She saw what happened that day when that happened with the landlord when he stopped over the house. Knows that never happened, but had to listen to this prosecution blatantly lie that I pulled the gun on my landlord. So when the judge hears all this, it's only human nature for her to be like, okay, this guy has a serious problem. He's a threat to the community. But those things, me threatening an FBI agent, me pulling a gun on my mother's landlord, those were lies. They never happened.
No. That's really pitiful. And everybody take that into account and see what we're dealing with. And going back to the phone call to your work, they weren't even supposed to call you there. And then when you went to talk to them, there was nobody there. That's
right.
I mean, that's disgusting. May God see these injustices. And yes, go on. I'm sorry.
And I had a letter written on my behalf from the guy that took the phone call that said they never identified themselves as a federal agent or any law enforcement officer. And he's a law-abiding citizen that wrote the letter. He really wanted no part of it because I'm sure after they arrested me, the FBI went to my place at work and intimidated the entire company.
I wouldn't put it past them. So that's what I'm dealing with, America. I definitely didn't threaten an FBI agent. I'm not in the freaking mafia. I don't think that I have the clout or the manpower to threaten the FBI off of investigating me. I retained a lawyer a month after January 6th. That should show that I was more than willing to deal with this situation that I'm partially responsible for. I'm not trying to denounce my involvement. It never was. But the fact that I retained a lawyer a month after January 6th shows you that I'm not trying to intimidate law enforcement off my case. Otherwise, why would I raise the $15,000 to retain a lawyer? Right. When did you actually get arrested, Barry? How long after was that?
Over a year. I was arrested on April 22nd of 2022.
Really? That much later? Wow.
Yeah. And I retained a lawyer a month after January 6th. So it was over a year that I had retained that lawyer and was just waiting to be questioned. I actually was going to turn myself in, seeing my photo, but my lawyer told me let's not do that. We'll wait till they come asking questions.
Okay, I gotcha. Well, we hope and trust for eternal justice, for God's justice. We were talking about this a bit earlier. Yeah. Conservatives and patriots almost universally don't do that kind of stuff. They don't advocate violence. Right. We turn away from violence. We seek peaceful means to redress grievances. And this is just my guess, but my guess is 99% of people who were there on J6 wanted that exact thing, peaceful redress of grievances. And they were there to stand and pray or whatever. But the day was hijacked, as you know, and I'm so sorry to hear all of that crap has happened to you.
I did assault one police officer. I was charged with assaulting two police officers, and I'm going to appeal the second assault because it never occurred. But the first one I am 100% guilty of. But the notion that I went there to battle it out with cops is a false narrative. That's right. I went there to deal with Antifa if they came out of the woodwork to assault people. Now, that never happened. But when I went to the West Side Terrace, when I was at the bottom of the floor...
you have 1 minute remaining.
I was being peaceful, but they lobbed concussion grenades at me. They shot rubber bullets at me. After seeing an individual being shot through the face with a rubber bullet, I became outright pissed off. Up until then, I was peaceful. I was talking to them, telling them that I was on their side, that I was not there to hurt them, and they fired rounds at my head. And I didn't handle it properly. I wish I would have handled it better. But I didn't go there to battle it with police, and I don't think many other people did, not that voted for Trump. But that's our time. I am going to be appealing one of my assault charges, and if I win in that department, I will help a lot of other J6ers.
Amen. You go for it.
Yeah, do it, Barry.
And
I appreciate you guys.
We love you, Barry. God bless you. You hang in there, and I'm glad the sentencing is behind you, and you were able to freely share all this stuff with us. It's an eye-opener.
It is.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Gateway Pundit's going to be putting out the truth here, and hopefully you guys will share that so I can try to show America I did not threaten an FBI agent, nor would I ever do that.
Right. We will.
Thank you for using Global Telling.
Go, Barry.